And
who
how,
I
how
assume are in your care, Robin, as the crazy bird lady.
yeah,
You
how
are.
does we learned how that worked, right? So we say the name, they go bring a message. Do they come right back, or
You say the name, and like give them you say the name to the amulet, and then you give the amulet to the raven, and they just like bite it in their mouth, and then they
Mhm.
go to the whichever amulet bearer you want to send it to. So right now, I believe Tara has the other one.
right? But would they do they come right back, or do they like sit there and wait orders, or
Um, they they would wait for the orders of the other person. So the other one can send them back, but yeah, they would stay with
The
the
recipient.
other the recipient. Yes.
do we want to lose one of our birds to see if that is Blackmane?
No.
I mean, they're only good for sending messages to Black, right? Or to one of us, I guess.
Or to one of us?
To
Yeah.
Blackmane, or yeah, between one of you.
I mean, he might answer, and then in that case, we have another bird.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah,
Are
let's
you,
see.
are you gonna write a message, or I mean, you could theoretically just send the bird.
That was kind of my
Like-
idea, just to see if it flew in the direction of the sloop. That
Okay. Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to.
Just a blank. Just say, new ship. Who did?
New ship who dis.
Nice.
Okay, go give me a. So you do that, Robin, and the raven flutters off and flies to in about the direction of the ship. Why don't you give me a notice roll?
$17.
Okay, so you keep an eye on the bird as you fly back, so moving between the bird and the ship. The bird flies off in the direction towards the ship, and it continues flying past the ship.
Okay.
So Blackmane is like northeast of your current position. Like along, along like about that line of travel. But it was not that ship. That was
And Blackmane normally
another different unrelated sloop.
When the three of them were operating, where was Blackmane typically?
He for you're speaking with Fiza. He operated more in like the northern area of their sort of network. I mean, he used to just go between Katiros and Dakan and occasionally back to Ketris.
Yeah.
When they worked for Dio, but moving. Fiza said that he headed north, so maybe someplace in the Free Isles.
Okay.
Or maybe just like straight up at Hallamore. She didn't know for sure.
Well, it wasn't Blackmane.
Yep. Regardless, you guys are able to easily outmaneuver the other vessel, and you arrive at the port of Dakan at early evening. So we go over to the Dakan city map. So Dakan is not a super large city. It's probably about the same size as Ketris. And it is most characterized by it has like a very large shipyard, and it does a lot of like ship fitting, repairs, and building, as well as like weapons manufacture. Coming into port, you would probably you would probably go up to the docks here, which is sort of the main like commerce ward. They're unlike Ketris and some of the other cities that you've been to. There aren't really a plethora of like just random wharfs or docks that you can easily land at. It's all pretty legitimate merchant enterprise here.
Not a lot of free docks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of free docks.
Are there any free docks?
I mean, there are like spots open on the dock to offload things. Like you can definitely go up and get a place to dock and offload your goods. But it looks like you'll have to go through more legitimate channels here.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's how it is.
Unless you want to devise some other way of doing it. I mean, like theoretically, you could wait until like nightfall and then like transfer your cargo over to some like random place along the shoreline with your longboat, but that would be pretty time intensive.
Yeah, at that point we're smuggling.
Yeah.
Smuggling legal goods
Yeah.
to ignore tariffs or whatever. I don't know.
Well, how much is it again?
For docking here, it's going to run you. If you want, well, I guess how long do you want to stay? These docks are fairly busy, and like there's not very many of them. So if you want to stay docked for a long period of time, it's going to be fairly expensive.
Well, why don't we just anchor and then we come to sell the goods? We can dock for a day.
Okay, that works. When you do that, it will be 30 marks to dock.
The rum barrels, they're obviously waterproof, right?
Yeah.
Do they float?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, they're wood, so I'm sure they would probably.
Yeah, I mean, you could weigh it down a little bit.
Yeah.
We should probably attempt to be taken as serious merchants.
Yeah, probably. Even if we did somehow smuggle it past them, they'd be like, "And what are you holding today?" "Oh, nothing." Right. Well, I'm gonna have to see this nothing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and add 30 to the ship investment.
Okay. Yeah. So, Doomy kind of like goes up and says, "I should be able to deal with the politics and the merchanting of this wharf while you handle our more clandestine business. We may have to pay a little bit more if. Well, I'll see what I can do."
I mean, we're getting considerably more for the rum than we normally would.
Indeed. I will handle it, Captain. Not to worry.
And I guess it's not going to pay to add problems onto what we're already doing.
In terms of what you are already doing, so you know the general location of this dead drop from talking to Fiza and McLagan. They said that they would go up and like row into the pastures here, the livestock pastures in between Duncan proper and this smaller area, which is a place called Shackletown, which is where there are a bunch of like slave labor camps.
Oh.
But in the pasture, like before you hit this main road here, there is a concealed entrance to like this underground like tomb type thing, some old tomb, and that's where they would just drop off the goods at like the entrance to that, basically. A little ways in.
So they would row up to this side over here?
Yeah, they would row up here and then bring the goods up through the pasture at night.
And there'd be some sort of underground thing?
Yeah, there's a concealed entrance before the road here.
Oh, before the road?
Yep.
Okay.
So someplace in like this area.
Okay.
Oh, you know what we should do? We're working with Dio. We should give him one of the necklaces.
Oh, that'd be
Who
so
of us?
smart.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I don't know if the birds have like a maximum range. I assume if they fly too far, they just get tired and die.
They are birds, so
I mean, they fly back if they know they're not going to
I
make
mean,
it.
they'll like stop and rest or fly back if they can't make it. But yeah, it's definitely not instantaneous messaging.
That's the Viking.
It's like, okay, that bird's going. It'll get there in, I don't know, a week or more, maybe.
The Vikings send the bird to find land. If it doesn't come back, there's land. If it comes back, no land.
well, do we want to go try to find that tonight?
Yeah.
It is early evening now, so
Perfect.
head over there. So you're gonna row in on your longboat then?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna?
Docked, right? Or was that just a load?
You were gonna wait to dock.
Right.
To basically like have to be at the dock the minimal amount of time.
Oh, okay.
Do we have more than one longboat or just one?
You just have one.
I mean, we don't we don't need a longboat. I can cast elemental protection.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, that'd be kind of fun.
You just have
are you talking
Doomy
about?
take the longboat and deal
Do
with
the old
stuff.
skeleton underwater walk thing, except we're not dead.
Everyone grab a cannonball.
Sounds interesting. I don't believe I've
Of
ever
course,
walked.
I don't have anything that I care if it gets wet. So, also I can just remove water from my person.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pistols on me.
With elemental manipulation, Tara could dry them out after you get back.
Just be like, and they're dry.
Either that or we could just bring more people and then have Doomy in, or have them bring the longboat back, and we just meet Doomy in the morning.
That is another option.
Yep. Also, I mean, yeah, let's just have Doomy drop us, or somebody drop us off.
Yeah, I mean, go into the actual docks and just get dropped off there.
I feel like the water protection is more something like we have in an emergency, or we could get back without getting picked up.
Yeah. I think it's something we should totally use when it would be cooler.
Yeah.
Than just walking onto shore.
Going into town.
It also would take longer.
Yeah, you'd have to walk, or I guess swim underwater. Because you can swim, you're not skeletons.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, so you take the longboat in with Doomy and a couple of the other crew. It's big enough to have like 6 at least people, so that's fine. He says, we'll be here at this, you kind of go up to like one of those tiny little like fisherman docks for little boats, and he says, I'll be waiting for you here in the morning.
Sounds good.
And are you guys going to just head straight over southward to the pastures?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So let's see how long is that. All right. So I mean that's about it will still probably be like twilight when you get there. But you walk through. It's a rather morose journey. Because you walk by this, which is the Dahan Cemetery, and it's a very large cemetery. Looks pretty old. And then there is also a Temple of Ignis Kai over here, which also it's pretty small compared to a lot of the others that you've seen around, and also looks quite old. And the town, the further this way you get, just generally is very like gloomy and decrepit. Not helped by the fact that there is a light fog in the evening. Let's get some less upbeat music for this.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Boost Trade on everyone's notice.
Okay.
Neat.
By the way, I
Yeah.
totally want to get a talisman of disguise.
That would be pretty useful.
That's
I forgot to mention. Did you guys want to bring any of your crew with us, or do you just want to go by yourself?
I think it's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have taken 2 crew, as well as Doomy in the boat.
2
So,
live crew.
So, what happens on a critical fail when you cast a spell?
Bad stuff.
you nothing more than you just
Just
can't.
magic backlash.
Yeah, you get magic backlash.
Alright, I'm stunned.
Oh,
Okay,
you right there, Robin?
That's
so
Fuck.
you get to
that.
sort of like the edge as you kind of start to get out of town. She just stops and like staggers in the street temporarily. Like messed up as well.
Alright, let me try again.
That's not a terrible one to have though, thankfully.
No.
not in this moment.
Alright. Everyone's got +1 die and notice.
All right,
And everyone can see in the dark.
nice. So is that full dark? Did you get it with a raise or was it just?
Yeah, it's what there is.
All right, nice. So you got as you walk out from the outskirts of Dakan into the pasture lands, you feel your vision sharpen and come into focus, and the shadows recede into like sort of like a gray scale, which does help you see a lot better, but doesn't really do much to alleviate the eeriness of the place. You do see like coming out onto this road, there's like starts to get like some fences, and looking out into the pastures, it looks to be mostly goats and pigs. Mostly goats out here, just kind of wandering around grazing. There are a handful of people in the upper area here, but it seems like this stretch it's a little bit more shrubby and overgrown, and it looks like it doesn't get as much grazing as up here. So I mean, there's definitely a possibility that you could be seen by someone, but doesn't really seem like a place that is overly well traveled. Any particular method for when you guys come down here? Or are you just gonna like work your way?
Nobody like tending the goats, right?
You do see a couple of people walking around with the goats like up here. But there is a slope to this, so like you could stay out of sight from them for most of the time. If you want to be safe, you could wait another like hour until like night falls fully.
It's gonna be. Oh, we can see in the dark. That's not
You can see in the dark, yeah.
I was gonna say it's gonna be impossible to find a hole in the ground in the dark
Yeah.
unless you fell in it. But we can see in the dark. Yeah, we should probably wait.
All right. Are you just gonna like wait by the outskirts,
Sure.
loiter?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you wait a little bit. As the sun sets, you see there's a couple of groups of like chain gangs, basically, that are led up from the shipyard, and groups of slaves with their overseers walking behind them. It's a mix of Dracian and Karites mostly, probably like 2/3 Karite, 1/3 Dracian.
Oh, look, they're numbered. Look, 24601, 24602.
No, they're not numbered. They wear rags, and that's about it. Doesn't seem super regimented.
They're randomly singing with gorgeous music in the background somehow.
No, they seem pretty disheveled. The slave masters kind of like shoot you suspicious looks as they walk by, but they don't.
I shoot
They
them
have a job to do.
Look.
Yeah.
Your little carrot girl. Wait, are you supposed to be in one of these gangs?
You do see like one of the slave masters that walks by kind of looks like he's going to walk towards you, but then his eyes kind of go over to like Mr. Dibbs and Tara and just like seems to dismiss the matter. Guessing he probably assumes that you're their slave or something. But yeah, the sun sets and the traffic on the road recedes sharply. There's nobody out here, so the only thing you can really hear is like the faint crashing of water on the beach and the occasional bleat of a goat. So, moving down into here and looking around, are you guys going to just sort of sweep north to south through this area, looking for the entrance?
No, I'm actually thinking we could start at the shore and look for any sort of trail or tracks.
You could try that too, yeah.
That's true. There's got to be something that they know where to land.
Yeah, it might be easier for thinking people like us to find a place where a longboat might land and follow tracks than to look for a hole in the ground.
Very true. I would say if you want to go down and do that, you could make either a notice roll or a survival roll.
I better make a survival because I don't have minuses.
Yeah, you'd be less looking for actual signs and more thinking about like, okay, what would be the most natural place to go and like patterns in the land.
Everyone does have one die boosted in North, by the way.
It's a D6 minus 2 or.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because my eye is, funky. My eyes are all funky.
All right.
One of those bennies. There we go. I got a 6 on my notice.
A 6, okay. What would Mr. Dibbs and Tara get then? And Tara, you're rolling survival.
I got a 3.
3, okay.
Sorry, what was it?
Notice or survival.
Okay, that was the other one. And then eye patch penalty or not?
Yeah, eye patch penalty.
All right, so I got a 3.
That's perfect. A 3? Okay, so you come down to the shore and you look around for a little while, not really finding much. Obviously, the beach is a no-go. I mean, you didn't even look at the beach because the waves would wash away any evidence. But after a little bit, Robin, you are able to spot a sort of like a parting, what you would assume to be like maybe a deer path or a goat path. But when you go up to it, you see some like signs of boot prints in the ground.
Last I checked, goats don't wear boots.
Yep.
Unless, they're really special to their owners.
So
Likely to eat the boot.
Yeah.
Finding the boot prints, you can follow them in this sort of like winding path in between bushes. Some places you lose it for a little bit, and overall it ends up taking about an hour and a half. So well into nighttime at this point. But you eventually find your way up to a point at which the boot tracks disappear into like this sort of mass of bushes a short ways away from the road, and that red dot right there. And sort of briefly inspecting it, looks like the bushes conceal this sort of like steep, like sort of hollow into the hillside that goes down a little ways and into a crudely cut doorway and some kind of like mounded cavern or something. And we'll bring you over to that map. Let's get rid
Not
of
that map.
There's no ocean here.
There be no ocean.
From my first love, the sea.
And
Alright.
need to get your minis.
Well, so I'm now gonna drop the notice boost,
Okay.
and I'll probably throw up
There's Rob.
protection.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, we'll do protection.
I like how the mages always say throw up. Because like it's the first thing I think of. Like, so I'm gonna drop this and then I'm gonna throw up. Okay. Bold move, Cotton.
Yep, it's vomit mancy.
Yes. You better eat a full breakfast every day.
Or nauseomancy. Okay, so yep, you guys should be on the map here.
I mean, if I had enough time, they were like tied down and I could focus a lot. I wonder if I could like mess with people's stomach fluids to get them to look like.
All nauseous.
Maybe.
and puke.
Stir around your guts.
I just gotta focus.
Some
There's
like,
water in there.
like blood bending stuff.
Yeah.
Vomit bending.
That's awesome.
It's less creepy and more gross.
Yeah.
Yep. No one will think you're psychotic for doing it. They'll just think you're weird.
Maybe. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, like that's what I mean, weird. But they won't think you're, evil.
Just why? All right. Oh yeah, Robin's. You're casting protection.
How long does the encounter scene last?
How long does what last?
I got mental strain. Oh wait, no, I can Benny as long as I don't crit fail.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Don't crit.
All right. Okay, so I succeeded with additional or more armor and toughness. So it's 4 points of armor, and it's toughness instead of armor.
Okay, so for +4 to your toughness.
Wow.
What is the trappings of this? Is it shadow or ice?
Oh
or
yeah.
shadow. Okay. So this is less like armor around you, and more that like your skin sort of like darkens and sort of sloughs off this faint sort of like wispy sort of like liquid nitrogen black fog.
Oh. This is new.
That's weird.
What is this? Is this armor?
Kind of.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna try to throw up deflection on people.
Okay. So
Yeah,
the armor.
that's a regular old fail. Hang on. I got this. Oh yes, I have this. 15.
15. Okay, so that's deflection with a raise.
Yep.
All right.
God,
So you
that's a
guys
big deal.
have +4 toughness, +4 or -4 to being hit, and you can see in the dark.
You're ready.
Geared the fuck up.
Try to throw smite up on my sword with AP.
Okay.
So that's 2 base because I'm
This is what happens when you have two buff focused spellcasters.
I got a regular success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have smite as well.
Yep.
And that's sharp air. I'm guessing your standard.
Yep. I will go with sharp air.
All right, who's going first into this
I'll go.
hole? It is definitely a single file thing.
Yeah, I'll go.
Great. And you have to actually sort of like dip your head down a little bit to get through.
I'll be right behind.
All right, you can go ahead and just move yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring up the rear, and I will definitely be looking behind me a lot for any of those creepy play guys.
Oh yeah, the homunculi.
Oh, I can't. I see.
The entrance is right. You can't move yourself.
I was
No.
like, what are you looking for? Like ghosts?
Oh no.
Evil goats.
Yeah.
All right, so it comes down to this T intersection here, and it's very like old mossy stone. When you actually get down into the hallway, the roof is still pretty short. It's like maybe a little less than 6 feet tall. So if you're a tall person, you have to kind of like hunch down to avoid banging your head on rocks.
I am exactly 6 feet tall.
Okay, yeah, so you definitely have to do the like shoulder hunch a little bit as you move through here.
Ugh.
Um,
This is built by dwarves.
yeah, just like very cramped. It seems to be very old as well. Goes down
Okay,
on both sides.
I don't feel like shooting guns in a very tiny, cramped space. So, guys, swords are coming out.
Probably be very loud down here.
Yeah. I need my ears. My eyes are failing. One is already.
You mean your eye?
One has already failed. See.
Do I think I could even use my staff in here?
In a hallway like this, I mean, you could like jab with it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely kind of limited, but you could still use it.
I mean, I have my sword, so.
Yeah. You would not be at any mechanical penalties, I'll say.
I still have my pistol out.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, so you go there. First, there's this like mass of moss just growing up in the hallway there.
I kick it a little.
It's very like spongy.
Okay.
And then at the end of this area, there kind of diverges off into a number of different paths, and there is this this sort of like this statue of a person made out of what seems to be like this pristine marble, chipped and worn with age, but it is covered in moss and stuff. So you reveal, because you have dark vision, so you can see quite a ways. This way goes down into another larger room. There seems to be a small alcove there, and then this goes, and this also looks like it goes out into a room, but there's like this tangle of like vines that covers the doorway, so you can't really see into there. Oh yeah, and then this way goes. The areas to the north.
Okay.
And then the way forward, you see several like sarcophagi kind of like tucked into the
Alcoves or whatever.
the alcoves of the place. It does. The pictures here are a lot more ornate looking than the ones actually are. They're pretty simple. They're basically just slabs of stone. Also covered in like moss and vegetation.
Are we giving a shit about any of this stuff?
Mr. Dibbs, give me a notice roll.
Uh-oh. Apparently I give a shit about something.
I just want to look at this statue and see if I can recognize it.
Sure.
Eye patch?
Yep.
0.
0. Okay, nice. Yeah, so looking at the statue, Tara, it seems to be it is chipped and like old, but you sort of brush some of the moss away from the face, and it's very well made and detailed. The general like posture is a man who's kind of like half kneeling, and his hands are like folded in front of him in like the sort of prayer symbol. And you see this sort of like very just almost like disturbing, intense expression on his face, like kind of a mix between like fear and awe, I would say.
I think he's taking a big shit.
It could also be that. The jury's out.
This is a real stretch, but can I tell, like, culturally where this came from?
Oh man, let's see. You could roll.
You know who'd be really good at this?
Yeah.
The professor.
Yeah, the professor.
I will say
from the first stage of the Anarchy Empire.
Man, I don't even know what this would be.
History?
Either, yeah, like academics,
Probably
probably. I would say academics. And Robin, you could also roll if you wanted to.
Oh my god, my D4 and D6 exploded. Oh my god, they exploded again! What the fuck?
This is a smarts roll, or?
This would be an academics roll.
Oh,
I got a 13.
no, I'm not even gonna try.
I'm
Okay.
just fucking nailing it with these
All right,
shitty
so
D4s.
something about the eyes and just like the general facial structure reminds you of Karite. You're pretty sure that this is depicting a Karite.
But do I remember them ever making like statues and art like this?
Yeah, I mean, like they have basics, like they have stone crafting. The tribe that you were on, was that mainland Karites, or was that an island?
I always pictured it as an island.
Okay, so yeah, the tribe that you stayed with, they didn't have any like underground structures like this, but they did like make things out of stone. This level of artistry is kind of eerie, though. Like it seems too good for what you would think they had.
It's not. It doesn't have an aura, right?
No.
Do I?
Can
Have I seen or do I know that there is like earth magic, and can that translate to stone?
There is earth magic. Are you like petrification? Is that what you're?
Basically, in my mind, do I
like
think
melding?
that a really talented earth elementalist could make a statue?
Give me an occult roll.
Actually, can I make an occult roll to see if any Karite mystic knowledge or whatnot would give me an idea what this is?
Alright. The occult roll, it's like, meh, okay. I got a 4.
I got a 5 on the occult roll.
It's both carrot.
No,
No.
Tara's from.
But she was
Tyrellian.
she was housed by Karites for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly possible that a skilled earth mage could craft beautiful sculptures if they're also like a talented artist.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that this is Karite. It's hidden, like...
You would say that it's pretty likely this was made by magic in some way. And Robin, yours was related to like if you know any Karite practices.
Yeah.
Like this.
Karite mysticism.
You have never heard of anything like this personally. However, you do know that like the different Karite tribes tend to have like vastly different rituals and stuff based off of the creatures that they make pacts with.
Okay.
So it can vary pretty drastically from tribe to tribe, stuff like this. I would say that your guess would probably bring it down to some kind of ritual, or maybe a mage who is an artist.
Interesting.
While they're examining this, Mr. Dibbs, are you going to do anything? Look around, or?
Well, I guess since we've stopped to look at this statue, Luca got a 11 on occult. Just to see
for
if he, just to say, kind of see if he like if it triggers
okay,
anything.
you're just gonna like describe it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Dibbs is like muttering to himself the
He's like
what the statue looks like and stuff.
he was asking like kind of why we've stopped and whatnot, like what's going on, and I'm like, oh, well, there's a statue everyone's kind of examining. It's marble. It's pretty amazing. Blah 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 blah.
Luca agrees with the assessment from Tara that a skilled earth mage could make that. He also mentions that there is a creature called a Medusa that can petrify people with a gaze.
What?
Although he is unsure of whether such a creature turns a person into marble or some other kind of stone.
Maybe some leveled up Medusa.
A Mardusa.
A Mardusa.
This is my cousin. Mardusa. She's not as pretty either.
Or no, sorry,
should be more
I
pretty.
a Gorgon. That's the right term.
Okay,
Medusa.
okay.
Medusa is the name of the person in Greek mythology.
Right.
Gorgon is the creature.
Okay, so a Gorgon, huh?
Yeah.
I'm saying all this out loud and shit.
If you actually, I'm pretty sure the Gorgon is in the
bestiary.
Bestiary. That was one of the things that Carvin read about. Mirrors are good if you have one of those, and also not looking at it.
I wonder why Karaites would place petrified people to guard their tombs. I assume this is a Karaite tomb, but maybe not. Let's go find out.
Descend deeper.
And when I say find out, I mean find the drugs.
Look at any monster.
All right. Which direction are you guys gonna go?
Do you want to check out that little thing if we keep going, or do you want to take another left?
Let's try to minimize the number of unexplored things behind us.
Sure. The left.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, statue.
That keeps going. I don't know.
Alright, so you kind of work your way around there and peek out into this room.
Yeah.
This seems to be a longer burial chamber. There's another statue on the end, and another doorway with a thick tangle of vines and moss blocking it.
It's like those hippie bead doorways.
Yeah, except for natural.
Oh, there's totally druids that live here. That's what it is.
The envy of all hippies.
Forest hippies.
All right.
Give me another notice roll, Mr. Dibbs.
All right.
And Robin, are you like watching the back?
Yeah.
Standing back there?
1 if it's eye patch. 3.
Why don't you give me a notice roll too, Robin?
It fail.
Does
No eye patch.
okay, 3 still. Could Luca roll? Just wondering.
No, this is sight based.
Okay, no problem.
Crit fail for Robin. Okay.
I'm a little distracted by the eeriness of being in a Karaite tomb.
Yeah, so like as you're watching behind you, you could swear to God you feel like warm breath on the back of your neck. And you just like whirl around, like pistol raised. There's nothing there. But it really, it definitely puts you more on edge. And then Mr. Dibbs, with your roll up there. Okay, yep. So you just kind of like poking through the vines and stuff. It's kind of hard to see, but it seems as though there is a another like small hallway.
Okay, and yeah, I would slice and slice
oh,
and
actually,
machete.
you know what? Do give me a notice roll for Luca
Okay.
for a different thing.
All these are like upright, right?
No, they're like yeah, they're upright and kind of like tucked into the little alcoves.
Sam.
Are the tombs marble too?
No, they seem to be just like the other stone, just like normal granite or whatever.
Are they all closed?
Yep.
Okay.
What did Luca get?
7.
A 7. Okay.
Yep.
So Luca hears as you're kind of like poking around, faint like whispering, chanting voices echoing. Like it's very faint, but he can just barely make out like whispering, chanting, echoing from this direction.
What do you mean whispers?
Does Luca speak Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It's the general. He can't make out the words, but the general cadence sounds Carrite. So
What do you
just
mean?
like so long.
What do you mean whispers? All right. Apparently there's someone up ahead, or there's chanting up ahead, in Karite.
Oh.
Oh, pique my interest.
Well, let's
Shuffle back to the rest of the group.
go find out what it is. I mean, we are in the Carrite too.
Shit. Okay. You do have to kind of like work your way through that. Like this is pretty difficult to back through. You could hack through it with your sword if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd machete my way through.
Clearer. Okay. So it'd still be difficult terrain, but it's you don't have to like worry about your stuff getting caught on anything. Okay, so that narrow hallway kind of comes back to an area that looks familiar to you. And then this is a tight turn, which, yeah, you have to, like, move sideways to go through here. It's very claustrophobic, these hallways.
Oh, whoops.
Okay.
And I go careening into the wall.
So, you, give me another... notice roll, everybody.
5.
Full penalties.
Yes, and I'll...
I got a 4.
-1.
-1? Okay, and then +4 if it was... Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Dibbs got a 4?
Correct.
Okay,
Should I
both...
stay there?
Yeah.
I figured I'd
right.
go one up so Robin couldn't get in here.
Yeah. So you hear, Mr. Dibbs, you hear the chanting now, and Robin, you hear it as well. It's coming from this hallway down here.
Can I make it out?
It's faint, but very close. Would you get a 7?
I got a 5.
5, okay. Not it precisely, no. It's definitely Karite. But it's so soft and like sort of slurred together. It's hard to say. Another thing you do hear is from this direction. There's this, and Tara, you hear this as well. There's like this horrible like of sound of like something grinding across stone, coming from this way.
Oh. That sounds awful. Was what you said like actually like, you know, words that Luca heard, or did you say he couldn't understand what they were saying?
He couldn't understand the precise words.
Okay.
In this room you see there are 4 large like these aren't sarcophagi, they're like big stone slabs.
Oh no.
And the skeletons are kind of like laying on the ground, sort of like leaned up against the sides of these slabs. Some of them are like sprawled off the edge. And there's more moss.
Are they wearing anything? The old rotting clothes?
Like scraps of old rotting clothes, but that's about it.
Is there like any meat on the bone, or is it all?
No, they look like they've been dead for a very long time.
How tall are these slabs?
They're about, let's say, like 3 feet tall.
So a chest high wall.
Waist high.
All right, I go in there and crouch, get in cover
Okay.
behind, and just kind of listen for that scraping sound.
Okay. Yeah, it came from